Rising from the cold waters of San Francisco Bay, Alcatraz Island looks peaceful from a distance. But behind its crumbling walls lies a history filled with violence, isolation, and mysteries that still fascinate people today. Known as the Rock, Alcatraz was once considered the most secure prison in America, a place where the nation's most dangerous criminals were sent when all other prisons failed to control them. Alcatraz officially became a federal prison in 1934. The island's location made escape seem impossible. Surrounded by freezing water, powerful currents, and strong winds, it was designed to break the hopes of anyone dreaming of freedom. Prison officials believed that if inmates knew escape was impossible, they would focus on following the rules. Life inside Alcatraz was harsh. Prisoners lived in small cells with only the bare essentials: a bed, a sink, and a toilet. They followed strict schedules and were expected to obey every order. Silence was often enforced, and many inmates described the prison as mentally exhausting. The isolation was just as powerful as the steel bars. Some of America's most notorious criminals spent time there, including gangster Al Capone. While Capone had once ruled the streets of Chicago, Alcatraz stripped away his power and influence. Inside the prison, every inmate was treated the same, regardless of how famous or feared they had been on the outside. One of the darkest parts of Alcatraz was the D Block, home to the prison's punishment cells. Among them was a place known simply as the Hole. Inmates sent there were kept in near total darkness for days at a time. Many later reported hearing strange noises, whispers, and footsteps. Whether these experiences were caused by fear, loneliness, or something more mysterious remains unknown. Over the years, stories of paranormal activity began to spread throughout the prison. Guards and inmates alike claimed to hear unexplained sounds echoing through empty hallways. Some reported seeing shadowy figures moving between cells. Others felt sudden drops in temperature or sensed they were being watched. While there is no scientific proof of ghosts at Alcatraz, the stories continue to attract curious visitors from around the world. One of the prison's most violent events occurred in 1946 during what became known as the Battle of Alcatraz. A group of inmates managed to seize weapons and attempted to escape. What followed was a bloody two-day battle between prisoners and prison staff. The conflict left several guards and inmates dead before order was finally restored. The violence shocked the nation and reinforced Alcatraz's reputation as one of the toughest prisons ever built. However, the greatest mystery in Alcatraz history came in 1962. 3 inmates, Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin, spent months secretly planning an escape. Using stolen tools, they chipped away at the walls behind their cells and created a hidden passage. To fool the guards, they placed lifelike dummy heads made from paper, soap, and real hair on their beds. On the night of June 11, 1962, the men disappeared into the darkness. They climbed through the prison's utility corridors, reached the roof, and escaped the island on a homemade raft constructed from raincoats. When guards discovered the escape the next morning, the inmates were gone. A massive search followed, involving boats, helicopters, and law enforcement agencies. Yet no trace of the 3 men was ever found. Authorities concluded that they likely drowned in the freezing waters of the bay. However, no bodies were recovered, and many believe the escapees survived and successfully vanished. To this day, the case remains one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. Just 1 year later, in 1963, Alcatraz was closed. The prison had become too expensive to operate, and the aging facilities required costly repairs. The inmates were transferred elsewhere, and the island fell silent. Today, Alcatraz is one of America's most famous tourist attractions. Thousands of visitors walk through its empty corridors every year. Many come to learn about its history, while others hope to experience the eerie atmosphere for themselves. The dark secrets of Alcatraz are not just about criminals and prison walls. They are stories of fear, survival, punishment, and mystery. Decades after the last inmate left, questions still remain unanswered. Did the famous escapees survive? Are the ghost stories simply legends? Or do the walls of Alcatraz still hold secrets that may never be revealed? That uncertainty is what keeps the legend of Alcatraz alive, and why the Rock continues to be one of the most mysterious prisons in American history.